They say the things you're not supposed to want are the ones that burn the longest. That no matter how deeply you try to bury them, they still flicker years later, after the damage is done, after the line has been crossed. This isn't a story about an affair. It's not about lust or cheating or some taboo fantasy. It's about loneliness. Deep, aching, suffocating loneliness. And what happens when someone finally sees you again, long after you've forgotten what it felt like to be seen. My name's Diane. I'm 57. I've been a mother, a wife, a widow. I've been dependable, steady, safe, for everyone but myself. I gave everything to my family. Raised 2 kids, buried a husband, kept the house warm, kept the fridge full, smiled at the neighbors, laughed at the right moments. And somewhere in all of that, I disappeared. I became invisible. I stopped being touched unless it was a hug goodbye. Stopped being looked at unless someone needed something. You don't notice it at first, the way you fade. It happens slow, soft, quiet, until one day you look in the mirror and wonder when you stopped being a woman and started being just a role. Mother, widow, caretaker, but never Diane. It had been almost 11 years since my husband died. He had a heart attack in his sleep. One minute he was there, the next he wasn't. And just like that, I was alone. The bed felt too big, the silence too sharp. I did what everyone expected. I kept going, made casseroles, hosted holidays, smiled through it. But inside, I was numb. And I stayed numb for years, until Eric. He was my son's best friend growing up. They met in middle school. Always attached at the hip, loud, messy, full of energy. He was around, so often we joked about adopting him. Called me Miss Diane. Even when he got older, even when his voice deepened and his shoulders filled out, they both moved away for college, and I didn't see much of either of them after that. Life just scattered everyone. My son traveled a lot, rarely visited, always busy. But then one summer, Eric showed up. Said he was back in town, needed a break from the city. Said he missed real food. I told him to come over anytime. At first, it was innocent. I made him dinner. He fixed a leaky faucet. We caught up. He told me about work, about how hard it was to connect with people, about his breakup. He looked tired, older, like life had been rough on him too. And then he said something that stuck with me. It's weird, he said, but this house still feels more like home than anywhere else. I didn't expect to cry when he said it, but I did, quietly. He didn't say anything, just squeezed my hand. I don't know what changed after that. Maybe nothing did, not really. Maybe it was always there, waiting, growing, hiding in plain sight. The nights he visited got longer. The space between visits got shorter. I started looking forward to them. Started wearing a little mascara. Started setting the table for 2 again. We'd talk for hours. Sometimes we'd drink wine and listen to old records. Sometimes we'd just sit in silence. It felt easy, familiar, warm. And then one night, it wasn't just familiar. It was electric. I was doing dishes. He came up behind me close. Too close. His hands on the edge of the sink beside mine. His voice soft. You ever get tired of pretending you're okay? He asked. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My hands were shaking in the soapy water. He moved closer. I see you, he said. I always have. And then he kissed me, just like that. Like it was the most natural thing in the world. And I let him. I didn't stop him. I kissed him back. And in that moment, everything came crashing down. Years of silence, of cold sheets, of invisible days gone. Just heat, breath, skin. We didn't speak much that night. He led me upstairs like he belonged there, like he'd done it 100 times. The way he touched me, it wasn't hurried or clumsy. It was careful, reverent, like he was discovering something sacred. I cried afterward, not from shame, from relief, from remembering what it felt like to feel. But that's not the end. It never is. Secrets have weight. They don't stay light forever. They rot in the quiet. We tried to act normal. He'd visit late, leave early. We said we'd stop. We never did. It felt too good, too necessary. It wasn't just about the sex. It was about being wanted, about being seen. I didn't feel old with him. I didn't feel broken. I felt alive. And for the first time in over a decade, I didn't dread waking up. But reality doesn't stay away forever. It knocks. And when it does, it's never gentle. My son came home for the weekend, unexpected. Said he missed me, wanted to surprise me. And he did. He came in the back door. I was in the kitchen again. Eric's hands were on my waist. We were laughing soft close. It wasn't even anything explicit, but it was enough. My son froze, dropped his bag, and the look on his face. God, I'll never forget it. Betrayal, confusion, heartbreak. Mom, that's all he said. Just one word. But it shattered everything. He left. Didn't even take his bag. Just walked out. Eric tried to follow, but I told him to leave. He did, quietly. No fight. No goodbye. I stood in that kitchen alone again, like nothing had changed. Except everything had. My son won't talk to me now. It's been 8 months. He blocked my number. Doesn't return letters. Eric moved back to the city. Hasn't reached out. And I sit in this house with its warm lights and perfect furniture and silent rooms, wondering how I got here. Wondering if feeling alive for a few stolen nights was worth losing everything. Some days I say no. Some days I wish I could take it all back. But most days, I just miss being touched, being held, being looked at like I mattered. I don't know what that makes me. Weak, selfish, pathetic, maybe all of the above. But I know this for the first time in years, I wasn't pretending. And for a little while someone saw me. Not the role, not the mask, me. And now I live with that. With the silence, with the cost, with the memory of hands that once knew my skin better than I did, of lips that said my name like it was a secret, of a line crossed that can never be uncrossed. But if I could go back, I don't know if I'd stop it. And maybe that's the real sin. Not the act, but the hunger for it. The way I still dream of it. The way it still haunts me. Because even now, I still don't feel sorry for feeling alive.